Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
It's 2:35. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. Yes, this is another Weedsman Podcast.
The fuck's going on in Michigan? We'll get to that later.
Yeah. There's some fuckery going around in Michigan.
Yeah, that's damn right there is.
Yeah. So, what? It's official. It's December. Another year is coming to an end.
Yes.
Another year that goes by fast, but still seems like it took forever. It's that paradox that we're stuck in now. Like, this seems like this seems like just yesterday we were looking at wrapping up 2017 and saying how shitty it was, and that 2018 better be better. But 2018, that's when we all saw Black Panther. Like, that was this year.
Oh, that was this year? Yeah.
It kind of blew my mind.
Seems like that was last year.
Seems like we've been through so much since then. But yeah, another year rolls around. Another season of The Simpsons. This is going to be their 30th season coming up. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it's a wrap for Apu.
No more Apu. He's been slowly written off the show. And then they're going to send him off without so much as a shot from a T-shirt gun. He's just going to... And he's not even getting, like, the Kevin Spacey treatment. Like, Kevin Spacey they erased him as much as possible from House of Cards, but you just can't have your lead character disappear and then come back in a season and everyone acts like he was never around. But his image didn't appear in House of Cards. There was an audio diary they had left that people listened to with headphones on only. So his voice wouldn't even appear and trigger somebody. So yeah, but okay, so season 30 though, this is peculiar. This is what's peculiar. This is why I bring it up. There's kind of a tradition with each season of there's one character that kind of advertises for that season. Kind of in a way to highlight how deep their catalog is of characters. Mm-hmm. That they can be, going on 30 seasons, and if you have all the different DVD collections, there's a different character featured on each one of those covers. There's other characters on there, but they're the biggest one. But in the advertising for the 30th season, guess who is the face of Simpsons season 30?
Mo.
Somebody we haven't seen in a while.
Troy McClure.
Troy McClure.
Really?
You nailed it.
Really?
Yes.
How?
The character has
Phil
not
Hartman's
appeared.
fucking dead.
Well, this character doesn't... Look, last season was Bumblebee Man. Right? I don't know if... I couldn't tell you if there were any episodes with Bumblebee Man in there, or if any of them even featured him. It doesn't have to correlate to anything. It doesn't mean that he's going to be in any of the episodes. It's just like, here's another character, and they're probably working their way down the list. Although, Nelson and Mr. Burns and Smithers, all three have not appeared on a DVD cover yet. Yeah, so it's strange that they would go to Troy McClure before any of those characters, and strange that they would use them at all, considering that they didn't try and recast them. I mean, they kind of... I almost imagine that, like...
He hasn't been on a show since, like, 97, obviously.
Right. And And it's not like Phil Hartman was like an original cast member. He was just somebody who was participating in those early seasons, those single-digit seasons. And it almost seems to me that they wrote characters for Phil Hartman to play. You know, when you find out that somebody that funny, who no matter what they say, it sounds funny, wants to do voice acting for your show, whatever you want. Yes, you're going to say yes to that.
Jimmy, I'm curious as to how meat gets from the ranch to my stomach.
Whoa, slow down, Jimmy. You just asked a mouthful. It all starts here.
But yeah, that's just really curious to me.
Just right.
And no apparent mention or any kind of announcement that like this is some sort of tribute to him. It's the character disappeared without a trace. The character's image, or Lionel Hutz, the attorney, neither name nor face has appeared on a Simpsons episode in 20 years now.
It's true.
And then all of a sudden, he's like, I don't know, like he's on the advertisement saying, "Watch The Simpsons."
Mr. McClure,
I don't know. It seems like bad taste to me.
who says it's wrong to eat meat. Is he crazy?
No, just ignorant. You see, your crazy friend never heard of the food chain.
It's got everything pointing at the human.
He'll tell you that in nature, one creature invariably eats another to survive.
This was Meat and You. Was this called Meat and You, Partners in Freedom?
The shark eating
Don't kid yourself, Jimmy. If a cow ever got a chance to eat you and everyone you care about.
His example for the food chain was what, a monkey eating a banana, and then an alligator eating a monkey.
Chance to eat you and
Yeah,
just ask this scientician. He'll tell you that in nature, one creature invariably eats another to survive.
lion eating a gazelle.
Gazelle, yeah.
Eagle eats a sheep.
A dog catches a frisbee for some reason.
Yeah, and then a shark eats a gorilla.
If a cow ever got the
Okay, the
chance to
shark
eat you and everyone
eats
you
a
care
gorilla
about.
reaching for a banana.
Wow, Mr. McClure, I was
Like how they even get the warbly soundtrack.
Yeah.
in eating meat.
Yes, you were, Jimmy. Yes, you were.
You're hurting me.
Do they have Troy McClure saying all the movies he's been in?
That's what we really need. Yeah, a mashup of just you. You may remember me from.
Boom, here we go. Oh, in order too.
I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such movies as Cry Yuma and Here Comes the Coast Guard.
The Revenge of Abe Lincoln and the wackiest covered wagon in the West.
Buck Henderson, Union Buster. And Troy and Company's Summertime Smile Factory. Handle with care. Today we kill, tomorrow we die. And Gladys, the Groovy Mule. Calling all
Those are the best
winners.
ones. They have the juxtaposition, the two, the super serious and the ridiculous.
Yeah.
Balling your battleship. And dig your own grave and save. Dramatic Adventures of Hercules. And Dial M for murderousness.
That's
Adventures through the
that's from the
windshield
episode
glass.
where Homer eats a
Decapitation
sandwich.
of Larry Leadfoot. P is for psycho. And the president's neck is missing. Out with Save Tony Orlando's house. Smoke yourself thin and get confident, stupid.
That was
Jacking on Super
Yola
Ship
Tango
79
song.
and
The one about
Hydro,
Tony
the man with the
Orlando. Let's all
hydraulic
save Tony
arms. 2
Orlando's
minus 3
house.
equals negative fun. And Firecrackers, the silent killer. Alien nose job. And 5
The
fabulous
silent
weeks of the
killer?
Chevy Chase show. Designated drivers, the life-saving nerds, and phony tornado alarms reduce readiness. Andre the Giant, we hardly knew ye. And Shem Powered, today we mourn a stooge.
Joe Blow. Only give my remains to Broadway.
The verdict was mail fraud and leper in the backfield.
Last night's dinner.
Locker room towel fight. The blinding of Larry Driscoll.
Make out King Montana and the Electric Gigolo.
Christmas Ape, and Christmas Ape goes to summer camp. Son of Sanford and Son.
The Christmas Ape movies.
David versus Super Goliath and suddenly Last Supper.
Alice doesn't live anymore. And Mommy, what's wrong with that man's face? Welcome to Springfield Airport. And where's Nordstrom? Earwigs. Man versus nature, the road to victory.
It's a shame. That clip should have been 25 minutes long, just to go through all of the movies.
Not 2.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to protest. I'm going to not watch. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, wait. I don't watch already.
I've actually heard it's getting better.
That's what I've heard, too.
Maybe they got some new writers.
But I don't know. I haven't watched a whole episode, but I've peeked at some of the recent stuff, and it just doesn't have the same rhythm.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, the sweet spot for The Simpsons was the mid-'90s. Or just the 90s in general. Like the beginning until about 2000. And that's when they started getting spotty.
Yep.
And then, about 2000, they switched out the writers. Started getting weird. Started turning into a cartoon. And the whole cool thing about it is it was a cartoon that didn't know it was a cartoon. It didn't act like a cartoon, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it started acting like a cartoon, and that's when it started losing me.
Right. It was written like a family drama.
Yeah, like a live-action sitcom.
Well, there was an interview with one of the Farrelly brothers. He did some kind of serious movie. And he was saying that his influence for wanting to make movies or any kind of film project at all was watching Andy Griffith. And there's kind of a big gap between Andy Griffith TV show and the slapstick comedy of the Farrelly brothers in the 90s.
Yeah.
You would think more, Marx Brothers and Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Would be heavily influential, and I'm sure it was, but that was he listed that as his primary influence. I do have a point. Hold on. And what he pointed out about those shows is that they were funny, but it was specifically noted that there shouldn't be jokes in the show, that all the humor should come from the characters. Opie's line isn't going to be funny coming out of anyone else's mouth. It's his line because it comes from his experience, and because you know that character, you know it's funny. It's not like a joke that you could write and have a comedian go up and read. And that's where all the original great Simpsons humor came from. And I think it was this concept that they could play with these characters more than real ones represented by real people, because they had a lot more leeway from the audience and what they could do with these characters. Well, it didn't mean that they became less human, right?
When they started turning Homer Simpson into a cartoon character,
right,
that's when they lost me.
Well, so once they feel they have the audience grounded in the characters, they could do whatever they want. They could send Homer into space. He could tour with the Smashing Pumpkins. They could do whatever they wanted. But then they started basing these episodes on we can just do whatever we want.
They started turning him into like Wile E. Coyote, if that makes any sense to you.
And then everything, instead of it being character based on how would Lisa react to this episode, they're like, oh, we need an episode, and we want to talk about this issue.
Yeah, we're going to get pre-cheats Lisa
So
time.
Lisa gets an episode where she talks to everybody about trees.
Yeah.
And we want to make, I don't know, I can't think of another good example, but...
Haven't you learned anything from that guy who gives those sermons at church? Captain, what's his name? We live in a society of laws. Why do you think I took you to all those police academy movies? For fun? Well, I didn't hear anybody laughing. That guy who made sound effects. Hug, hug. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Stay out of my food. Excuse me, Your Honor. Come to the court.
Native American ice cream. Oh shit, I dropped the joint.
Now, what were we talking about, boy?
Why was it called Native American?
It said formerly Chief Cool Cone or something like that.
Not a bear in sight. The Bear Patrol must be working like a charm.
That's specious reasoning, Dad.
Thank you, honey.
By your logic, I could claim that this rock keeps tigers away.
Oh, how does it work?
It doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
It's just a stupid rock.
Uh-huh.
But I don't see any tigers around here, do you?
Lisa?
Do that rock.
Buy your rock. 0 bears and 1 big fat hairy paycheck. Hey, how come my pay is so low? Bear patrol tax $5. What? This is an outrage. It's the biggest tax increase in history.
Actually, Dad, it's the smallest tax increase in history.
Let the bears pay the bear tax. I pay the homer tax.
That's the homeowner tax.
Anyway, I'm still outraged.
So I hear this shit wasn't so easy to come by this time. That even though we've had a decade of medical program and an impending recreational program,
Yeah.
it was difficult to get your hands on some cannabis.
The day this show posts, the rec law is officially go into effect, or will be in effect today. But I recorded audio today from one of my trips to dispensaries. Yeah.
You're like, where is everyone?
Where is everything? And where is everything? Where is everything at?
I'm sorry, you guys are going out of business, huh?
Yeah. Is this going out of business sale? The fuck is going on? Well, apparently, as of December 1st, they can only buy from licensed growers, state licensed growers. So obviously, since the process has been going so well with licensing the dispensaries,
there's only one of those.
Now we're going to license the growers.
There's only, as far as I know, there's only one licensed grower.
Well, he's a very rich man right now.
Right. He's like those dudes in fucking Boston, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That the 2 dispensary owners, they got all the money.
Yeah. But yeah, so I go in there, nothing hanging on the shelves. A place that I go to usually has dozens of strain. There's 10. I counted. I was like, I'm counting this because I want to be able to give this number on the show. And then I went to a couple other places. One place only had 3 strains. And, in every place, they're asking me just what they want to announce, like ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Only one kind of
supply
cartridge.
and demand business.
Only
like
one brand
other.
of cartridge in every place. Only one edible fucking chocolate bar in every place. So the companies that are making these are fucking...
You're seeing the same products. But there's only like the one that's been approved.
Yeah, stacking that cash at whoever's making these things.
Well, temporarily, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what at the last dispensary I went to. Yeah, the guy told me, he's like, yeah, state's got to license up all the people we were getting our stuff from. He's like, and pretty much around here, give us a week, we'll be back to normal.
Oh, but that's not so bad.
But
then.
right now, I'm on planes all the time. They always tell you, it'll be about a half hour.
Oh,
and
right.
after a half hour, it'll be about a half hour.
Right.
So if I go back next week, be like, yeah, man, another week.
Yeah. No, I know it's crazy. They should have all this all ironed out, though. Anyway. So that'd be $162
for an eighth. Goddamn.
Look, bureaucracy is bureaucracy, right? I mean, we shouldn't be surprised by when shit like this goes down.
What's going on?
We would hope that this would even out eventually, right? This is a turbulent time. All right, but still, how come so many of the programs that roll out in this country roll out in ways that actually drive people to the black market? I mean, that's all they're doing right now in trying to get everything proper, which I give them.
I walked out
credit
2
for.
dispensaries today. Yeah. Like, sorry, I'm not paying that. See ya.
Yeah, there is a lot of people's dudes being called up this weekend, I'm sure. Like, hey, yo, you still doing those extra topping pizzas, the ones with the extra pineapple pizzas? Can I get one of those? Whatever your
like,
code
hey,
word for
recreational now. We don't have to use the code anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, they could still pinch you for dealing it.
I suppose.
I don't know what that would look like in court, but yeah, even if I just want to like sell somebody an eighth of my own stash, I could. That's technically illegal. Now, there's nothing illegal about giving it away.
Yeah.
And there's nothing illegal about finding money.
I know, right?
Hey, it's left in my couch.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
So shit's getting wrapped up in the approvals and the red tape and whatnot.
Yeah, but I guess too, the stuff I keep telling myself is it's all just laying groundwork. It's all just we're at the beginning of something.
It's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah,
that's what you have to keep in mind.
And two, I guess, within a year they have to start approving licenses for rec places. That's part of
within a year.
Part of the law.
So we are going to...
Well, by a year from now, we have to see licenses issued to businesses.
So they'll be open then.
Not open. The license is just issued.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, maybe they won't open day of, but...
Well, if they're smart,
they're ready to go.
The places that got medical, can they apply for the rec? Do we know that?
I see no reason why not. I think they'd still have to keep them separate businesses. Mm-hmm. But if you already have a lot of your infrastructure there, then, maybe you lose if your license doesn't get approved, maybe you lose a deposit on your real estate or something,
That's no regulation, man. So far, it's led to less choice. Yeah. It's closed down 2 of my spots, and now it's led to less choice.
I know that
at the spots I do go to,
because there's so much of the policing of cannabis, while it was illegal, that has been unfairly done upon the poor and the minority classes in this country. There's a lot of ideas of, well, this can be some sort of like reparations, right? That we can encourage people that represent these groups that have been unfairly prosecuted and get them involved in this industry and they can make some money off of it now. This would be, this is justice ultimately done, right? But when you're talking about something that's a volatile market now, while you're not going to have people like Coca-Cola dipping their hands into it all the way, dabbling, or interested in the CBD or something, but until it goes national, they're not going to get fully invested in it. But neither do you just have like the dreamer who scrounged together a few grand and was like going to make something of it. Like, you're betting, unless you have some wealthy backers, you're betting, your entire savings, your credit history, everything on you getting a license from a process that takes, what we've seen is like tremendously slow. So there's money involved in getting these legal recreational businesses up and running. Mm-hmm. And no doubt there's probably a lot of that money that is coming from the black market.
Yeah.
Even if it's done through somebody that's a face for that company. Maybe I'm dealing drugs and I've saved up a lot of money and now it's going legal. And I've got this charge from back in the day, but I can funnel the money through my cousin.
Might be time to start thinking about opening up a shop.
Right.
The Weedsman dispensary? Could that
for
be a
us?
thing one day?
Oh, I thought you were role playing. Like,
that's me in general. You never know.
Like, we should own a shop.
Oh.
I think that's like a good retirement plan type of thing. I think, yeah. I could do that for the rest of my days. Sit in a weed shop that also, I don't know, sold comic books and vinyl.
Oh, wow.
Something like that, Some place where I can sit around and read comics and smoke pot all day. That's what I want for my retirement.
The comic weed shop.
I think it might be an oversight in this story. They refer to the majority leader in the Michigan Senate, but I don't know who that is.
Some guy.
Some guy named Meekoff. Does that name sound familiar? Jack Meekoff? No. Probably not. I don't know what his first name is. I got a call from Meekoff. Well, whatever this jackoff, whoever the fuck he is.
Get him through this state a little faster than 7 miles an hour, officer. Me off, Jack.
Well, that's when was it nitrous that was leaking into the
Roads. But what's up with this guy?
Okay. Oh yeah. So what's up with Jack Meehoff?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Honestly, they do not say his name in this story. This was in I don't know where Wood TV is. Covers Grand Rapids. Okay. You're familiar with it.
There. You did it too. It was Channel 8 when you lived out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I had HBO. I'm watching local TV for. No, Meekoff, though. What is he doing? He's proposing a bill that would put restrictions on cannabis further restrictions than what was agreed to, that what we all voted for, what an overwhelming majority of the state voted for in making cannabis legal to own and grow and legal to sell recreationally. Amongst these restrictions that he's looking at putting in by a majority leader of a lame duck Congress, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's going to be Democratic leaders in the next session come next year, probably January. I don't know when they swear in state senates.
And then a Democratic governor.
Right.
So have fun, buddy.
So, yeah, this is like...
Good luck with your bill.
We got to get this in now, which
it's the end of the year and everyone's going to be on vacation.
Yeah. Who knows how successful he's going to be on. But amongst the restrictions that he's looking to go for is keeping people from growing it at home at all.
Boo.
Restricting home grows. 'Cause right now, I think as of...
That's another thing, too. A hydro shop would probably be a really good business to probably think about now.
No, they're already sprouting up all over the place. They've been... his office said that the state regulates alcohol and tobacco. It should also regulate marijuana. He respects the voters' desire to decriminalize marijuana use, but he believes it still requires the state to regulate the substance. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's nothing, right?
Yeah.
We understand that the state's going to regulate it.
Yes.
Right? We didn't think that we were going to vote in this proposal and then it was just going to sprout out.
Everybody gets weed.
It's just going to start sprouting out of the medians and the highways, and we're just going to go and pick it, or the government's going to deliver it to you.
Black people are just going to come out of the city and start handing it out to kids in the suburbs at school.
Right. So don't forget to get your weed.
Handing out weed to the children.
Right. And plus, we didn't decriminalize it, right?
Well,
we made it legal. Detroit already did, but what I'm saying is the proposal that they're saying, they're referring to this proposal as the citizens deciding to decriminalize cannabis. That's not what we did. Decriminalizing is something specific that it's strictly illegal but not prosecuted.
Yeah. It's not taking you to jail.
You don't vote on...
It's giving you a ticket.
We didn't vote on, do you want cops to prosecute... Do you want weed to remain illegal, but cops just don't bust you for it? That's not what we voted on. We voted on a legal recreational program.
We can have it, motherfuckers.
Yeah. So, I mean, even if he is successful, this can just be overturned by the incoming Democratic Congress.
And governor.
And so it's doubtful this is going to last.
But they can go.
Because...
Sorry.
Because this program in Michigan is... very similar to the ones that we've seen roll out across this country.
Yeah.
In most forms.
Mm-hmm.
That's the successful model of this. I don't see more people blowing up their homes in Colorado.
No. Or Oregon or Washington. California, Nevada, Massachusetts, Maine.
Well, I guess in order also to...
Vermont's legal, right?
What happened in Vermont again?
Didn't their legislature...
I can't even keep track anymore. Also take heart in this.
Yeah, that's right. It's July 1st.
Yeah, okay. It's very unlikely to pass also because I guess in order to essentially amend a proposal, you have to have 3/4 of the representative body on that vote.
Yes.
So that's...
Have fun.
Yeah. You don't get that kind of cooperation unless it's like... dogs for 9/11. It's fucking... Everybody gets government-sponsored kitten and baby pictures sent to their email every morning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Vermont is part of the recreational club. Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine.
That's right.
So, New Hampshire, you're surrounded. Just give up.
Really? I mean, you're all going to have a contact high anyway. You might as well.
And that means Connecticut and Rhode Island, you might as well. And then New York.
And then don't go down New York.
New York, you got to do it. I just wonder who's going to be the next Midwest state. Which one connected to us? My bet's Ohio. Ohio's weed friendly.
Yeah, most likely.
And once you get Ohio, you get Pennsylvania, and then there's like the Northeast. Oh, do you got any stories about Jersey this week? Jersey made some moves in their legislature.
Did they? No, I did not.
New Jersey's trying to be like Vermont.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we? I can't remember. I know I had saved the story, but
we've mentioned it.
I don't remember if we brought it up. But is there news? Are they making progress towards getting that passed? I don't know. Oh, also, there's representatives in Utah that are pulling the same shenanigans that they're trying to do in Michigan.
Expect that out of Utah.
Yeah.
They're red state ass.
They're trying to trip up the medical marijuana program. The Republican lawmakers and opponents of the initiative, including the Mormon Church, say the law goes too far and they want to scale it back. This is creepy Uncle Sam telling you what's good for you. You don't know. You're just a dumb citizen. We get paid to know what's good for you. You should listen to us. Greg Hughes says on the subject, I think we are trying to strike a strong middle ground on how we deliver for patient access medical marijuana in a safe way and also protect the public from unintended consequences, such as having fun without a hangover the next day. I would guess would be the unintended consequences.
Yes.
They're probably okay with alcohol because God punishes you for your love of alcohol the next day. But weed is truly from Satan because,
it's devil's lettuce. It's in the name.
There's no after effects.
You don't make poor decisions. Well, you make poor dietary decisions. If I put the Doritos in the burrito.
A burrito?
Dorbeeto.
Torpedo.
I've ordered, Grubhub delivers everything now. I've ordered from Cold Stone. I've gotten chocolate ice cream with everything chocolate they have.
You got ice cream delivered to your house?
All the time.
For reals? And it arrives cold?
Yeah. Grubhub, man. Download the Grubhub app. Grubhub app will blow your mind, man.
Yeah, well, I like ice cream, but I go to the grocery store and I see ice cream and I'm like, I'm going to want that at some time in the future. I should buy it now.
Yeah, but I don't need to have a whole thing of ice cream in my house. That's my thing.
You can't, it'll just disappear too quickly.
Yes.
So this is kind of like when I was trying to quit smoking, I would bum a lot of cigarettes, but I would actually buy a lot of cigarettes, and I would pay $1 for
Lucy's?
a cigarette. Yeah. Well, no, not from I wouldn't get them from but I'd ask somebody if they had a spare one, and I'd give them $1. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would turn me down, like, $1 for a cigarette. Like, no, I need to pay $1. If I pay you $1, I'm not going to
take my money.
I'm not going to smoke 5 of these, 5 of your cigarettes today. But it's tough. I mean, especially trying to quit smoking in an environment where everyone smokes. Like, you play in a band and work at a music store.
Yeah.
And you're trying to quit smoking. Like, all right.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
Right. That's like, I'm going to stop smoking crack, but I still got to show up for my job at the crack house. So see you 9 a.m., boss.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
9 a.m. tomorrow because we're crackheads.
Right. I'll be the one scratching my neck.
Mm-hmm. I first have to stay up all night to see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Right. But yeah, you don't know what's good for you. Okay. We'll give you medical marijuana, but not on your terms. This irks me. This kind of irks me more on a libertarian level even than on a pot smoking level.
Really?
Well, yeah. This is at the core of what the government shouldn't be doing, trying to control behavior. And I know libertarian gets a really bad rap these days, and trust me, I've heard from a lot of idiots that identify as a libertarian. And they say they use it as a defense for a lot of heinous behavior, I think, too. But I'm just old school libertarian. Like, don't tell me what I can eat, smoke, what I have to wear, if I have to wear.
Especially if the people have spoken.
Right.
What we've wanted.
Well, especially in those instances. But yeah, I mean, don't tell me if I have to wear a seatbelt or a helmet or something like that. Let me take my life into my own hands.
Yeah.
And there are. When it bleeds over into things like possible child endangerment, I'm sympathetic. I think that there is a part of the government that is there to protect us. But really, you don't have to directly protect the adults of this country in that way. Like, sure, keep the invaders off the shores. That would be nice. And we like paying for taxes for that stuff.
Libertarianism is all about individual liberty, and it should never be defined by the terms liberal or conservative. And communism is no good.
That's right. Big swing and a miss.
Yeah. And what's the word for when a few clerics are in charge? Religious oligarchy.
Holy
I can remember things.
I guess.
I guess.
Hey, keep mine rare.
A man after my own heart.
What my report's due tomorrow.
What's it on?
Why government matters.
Really? It's too early to learn that the government is a greedy piglet that suckles on a taxpayer's teat until they have...
That's the type of good line that works. Like I was talking about in The Simpsons. That's a character. That's not a joke. That's an Andy Griffith type of moment that the Fairley brother was referring to.
And property.
It's because that question, that idea was posed to that character,
You should be able to do
and his
whatever you want
reaction.
with this, right? If you want to eat all of it, great. If you want to throw it away in the garbage, that's your prerogative. But here I come, the government.
Takes a good 40% chomp.
40% of your lunch. And that, Lauren, is how taxes work.
That's not fair.
You're learning. Uh-oh. Capital gains tax.
Another bite of the sandwich.
Are you Ron Swanson?
I am.
Okay, what exactly did you teach my daughter?
Oh, you must be Mrs. Burkus.
Lauren was supposed to do a paper on why government matters. This is what she wrote.
It doesn't. Well said.
Yeah. Well, just one more reason why this isn't the final fight. Having it available legally in your own state is great, but even that is going to be directly affected one way or another, depending on the status federally.
You need to fix that.
And it's still going to affect...
Can't they get Matt Whitaker on that?
Things like money and security, handling cash, all this stuff.
Come on, Trump. You see the green rush happening. Yeah. Let's just take care of this. There's
been more... As this is rolling out, as we were saying, now 20% of the country has some form of legal program, and banks are starting to pay attention to that. They like money. They want to handle all the money out there, The idea that there's just cash being handed out directly to employees drives banks crazy. They're like, no.
We could be getting a piece of that.
Right. You have to have your money with us because it's safe, right?
Yeah.
And we have to be federally backed. And that's part of the problem right there in and of itself. Because they can't get FDIC insured if they're going to handle, quote unquote, drug money. And even the IRS is still looking at this as drug money. There was a bank in a credit union in Alaska that's actually rolling out a program to offer all these basic business services to the cannabis industry in Alaska. Payroll, being able to just write checks for shit, being able to have an account so you can take credit cards so that these companies can do everything above the board under the same types of government regulation that any other business is expected to adhere to, and pay their taxes properly. This should be something the government wants, right? It doesn't like cash-based businesses. It doesn't trust cash-based businesses. Here's the really funny thing about tipping. There's been a lot of controversy recently about the culture of tipping, and you go out to a restaurant and how much do you tip and where do you tip, and what's great about that is there's this idea that it's more direct, this is performance based. She does a really good job, she's going to get a nice healthy tip. These good tips often equal out to more than what your minimum wage is for many jobs. And you justify this, but because tips are cash based, they're taxed at 40%.
Yeah. So most of them aren't reported.
Right. Because they're going to gouge. The government is gouging because they assume you're underreporting. You underreport because because you know that the government is going to gouge you. 40% is you usually don't pay those types of taxes until you're making it 6 digits or more per year.
Yeah.
That's way up there, not just hitting 100,000. That's some rich guy tax bracket if you're paying 40%. But anyways, why were we talking about cash? Oh yeah, because a lot of businesses are doing it. Right. So we want the businesses to stop handling cash, right? We want them to pay their taxes and do everything above board and not be hassled by the government. Just operate like any normal retail business or liquor store or anything like that would. And when they do pay their taxes, they actually go through and, file with the IRS and everything. They are still fucked with. Because federally, again, it's a class 1 drug or schedule 1 drug or whatever it is. It has no medicinal purposes according to that classification. There's no legal handling of cannabis according to the federal government. So therefore, these businesses are finding out now because actually one of these cases went to court. Harborside Health Center of Oakland, they recently lost a court case against them from the IRS, saying that they owed millions of dollars in back taxes. Now, Harborside had paid their taxes. They had filed. They pay their employee taxes and their state taxes and whatever taxes they're being asked to pay, they are paying it. And they're also doing what any other business or even individual does. They do write-offs. For a business, you're writing off, well, depends on your business, I guess, but in this case, if you're growing, you're writing off lights and power and soil and seeds and all the stuff that goes into production, right?
Security.
Yeah, all the stuff directly tied to your business can be written off in some form, and you can get a break on your taxes because of that. And that's what all businesses and all individuals do to some degree. And because what they're doing is considered drug running by the IRS, they're saying that these businesses cannot write off any of that activity, which basically bans them from writing off anything. Like, pay your taxes, or who knows, the DEA could show up at your door and decide to have beef with you. Or, just pay your taxes because, like any other business, you don't want to fuck with the government, state or federal. But you're not going to be able to write any of that off. So you're paying full ticket price on that. There's no discounts for you, sir. Every other business and individual in this country gets to write off shit. So I thought that was interesting. That was the case that was lost recently. So this is a really bad precedence. This is why we need to be urgent about, forget about how many states are going to convert to a cannabis program of some sort. We're going to continue to have these kind of fucked up problems with the industry until we tackle the federal classification of it.
We have to figure that shit's out.
And yeah.
Come on, Trump. Do something useful.
Oh, it's not going to be Trump.
It involves money.
Trump and his thug.
White Shrek.
Yeah. So Harborside, I guess, was specifically singled out because they are such a large business. Described in this article on Leafly as the largest marijuana dispensary in America.
Where's it at? What's the address?
To the tax court commissioner, that just makes us a giant drug trafficker, unentitled to the usual deductions that legitimate businesses can claim, unable to even capitalize its indirect costs into its inventory, and subject to penalties for taking contrary positions on its tax returns. This has to be a lawyer quoted here. Yeah. Harborside attorney Henry J. Wojkowski.
Like, just what's it going to take to get it off Schedule 1?
I know those guys. Wojkowski and Wojkowski. Transactional techno lawyers. Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be, well, there's some proposals out there. But like we said before, apparently this is, you're going to have some cooperation on
Democratic House of Representatives.
And there's not going to be any cooperation had, really, I think, anywhere with Trump in office. They're looking at cannabis for treatment of concussions and head injuries.
Cool.
Actually, in conjunction with another mostly illegal drug, psychedelic mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you have the cannabis for, probably helps with the swelling. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it helps with the recovery. And I think the magic mushrooms are more for the psychotherapy side of it. Psilocybin, thank you. It's been approved by the FDA for depression treatments.
No shit.
Yeah. And this is like microdosing. This isn't like find Jesus and come back whole.
Could be macrodose.
Right? You sign up for the study and then go out to your car and put on a hat.
And a mustache.
That's what Trump was saying about the voters. You know, when they were doing the quote-unquote recounts, which was actually the first count. They're like, what? Oh, where are all these votes coming from? We don't even know. You know, a lot of times people come in, they vote, they go out to their car, put on a hat, come back in, vote again. Like,
wow.
Like, have you never...
Wow.
Did you not actually vote? Like, I know you're the president.
Ever?
Right. Like, you had to have voted at some point, right? And you got your ID checked and you signed the thing and they cross-reference your address. And it's pretty thorough.
Yeah.
They don't make any mistakes about identity, at least not intentionally so. And that's why we have 0.003% voter fraud that comes from, any type of identity fraud or anything like that. Like, it just doesn't happen.
You are fake news.
Yeah. But medicinal purposes of cannabis, that's not fake news. Now, there's another one of these small studies, and this is experimental. There's no concrete proof that it does anything, but it doesn't seem to be hurting. And they're seeing some early results that seem promising, shall we say. And also zero reports of those patients going on to try harder drugs.
Well, they're not wanting to tie off.
Right. Well, I mean, the university's providing you with weed and mushrooms. Like, you really don't have to go anywhere else.
They're like, do you got any fish CDs? You have the dead catalog while you're at it, university.
Yeah, no, they just have to get on the NFL, right? Get them to relax their...
Take their players into the blue medical tent. Here, take this cap and smoke this blunt. Huh? You'll be ready to go by halftime.
I mean, I think we're definitely going to see that with CBD stuff. I would imagine, though, if you take CBD, it probably shows up in your bloodstream. Or your urine, I mean. Or probably both.
I don't know. I guess.
I would imagine so. I don't know how easy it would be to differentiate between THC and CBD. So...
Music from the study.
This is some sappy sounding Fish. Like, where's the filter on the guitar? Well, this is getting closer, yeah. Kind of got a little bit of a reggae groove to that.
Next.
Yeah, what is this shit? I don't know, Fish. What are we smoking?
We're smoking Dosey Dos.
Oh, yum.
Yes, I figured. Yeah. There you go. Fucking this goddamn song.
Does he actually say Dosey Do in this song?
No. That's
yeah.
Dosey Dos.
No, I'm with you.
That's what my brain comes up with. Dosey Dos is an indica dominant hybrid with qualities similar to its parent, GSC?
Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, Girl Scout cookies. Whoops. With
You're
glittering
like me
trichomes,
with Billy Corrigan.
bright pistils, and lime green lavender leaves. This strain is a feast for the eyes. Its aroma is pungent, sweet, and earthy with slight floral funkiness. These classic OG aromas blend nicely with medical-grade body effects that lean toward the sedative side, with the addition of Face Off OG genetics. Enjoy a stony, in-your-face buzz off the start that melts down over the body, prettifying the consumer with relaxation that emanates outward.
Prettifying. Okay. I feel prettified. I do feel kind of melty. I feel rather relaxed.
Well, guess you should. It's the number one thing. The relaxed bar is all the way. Happy, euphoric, sleepy, uplifted.
That was already a little bit rubbery from the little bit of vaping I did on the way here.
Medically, it's good for the stress, pain, depression, insomnia, lack of appetite. The negatives, dry mouth, dry eyes, makes you dizzy, paranoid, and headache.
Not the eyes, but the mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was talking like Jeff Goldblum through this episode.
Which Jeff Goldblum? Like Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum, The Fly, Jeff Goldblum.
Igby Goes Down, Jeff Goldblum. Where he just might smack you.
I believe that certain people in life are meant to fall by the wayside, to serve as warnings for the rest of us, signposts along the way.
To where?
Success.
Our father would be a slippery when schizophrenic sign, for instance. Along the highway of life.
This summer, I want you to come and work for me. Work with my crew, renovate some of my New York properties. You up to being exploited by your old pal this summer?
Stay at your summer house at the Hamptons?
They canceled Daredevil, huh?
Yep. That's it. That's all you get.
That just proves that there's no future for the Marvel Netflix shows, right? If they're going to cancel that one. And the only reason they haven't announced Punisher or Jessica Jones is because they're currently in production.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably get those
Didn't
seasons.
Disney just start an online service?
Well, they've announced more details about it, but it's still not coming out until next year.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing
makes
about
sense to have all their properties.
Well, they're going to have
umbrella.
Disney Plus is going to be, well, anything under the Disney official banner is PG.
Yeah.
Doesn't even really step up to the line of PG. It remains clearly in PG territory.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to also, with their Fox acquisition, they're going to have majority ownership of Hulu. So that's where all their more adult themed stuff can go.
Well, they don't cancel us. Can't cancel us.
They don't know us. Not yet.
Not yet.
At least not that we know of.
I know, yeah. As far as I know, we're not canceled. Something I don't know, let me know. But for now, we're at ChristopherMedia.net. We're on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever the hell you call it now. Google Play. I heard there's a Google Podcast dedicated app now. You have an iPhone, so you wouldn't even know anymore. But yeah. Just cut out the middleman. Go to ChristopherMedia.net. Shows are on Tuesdays, Fridays. I said we reserved the right for ish on those. Sometimes life happens. At The Weasel 420 on Twitter. At The Weasel Podcast on the Instagram. The Weasel Podcast, ChristopherMedia.net for the electronic mail. Stay high.
Stay high.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
A different future starts with you. That's why GoDaddy does more than help you find a name. You can create, sell, and get found online, so any small business can drive change or build an empire. We need a new generation of thinking. Your way of thinking. Start different at GoDaddy.com.